Join the team.
Hey team, and welcome to the McGuire Review, where today we are going to take a look at something I'm very excited about. It is a new release from Critical Role. It is the one, the only MOLLYMAUK figure. This is a 12-inch figure. It's a partnership with Critical Role and McFarlane Toys, and I have two of them. I purchased two of these because I like to give back here on the channel for the views and the subscribers. And if you're a team member, you're subscribed here to the channel, you can be entered in a giveaway and you will win one of these. Now, this is sold out. It was a limited run. I don't believe they are going to make these again. It was a limited run. They are going for a significantly higher price already on eBay. But I purchased a second one, and I will ship it to the winner for free. So before we get started, let's talk about how it's going to work. All right, we are going to run this giveaway through the epic Gen Con Online week. So all next week, there's the Ring doorbell. So all next week, we're going to run this, and on August the 3rd, which is the Monday after Gen Con, Bear will select the Button of Fate, and a winner will be selected. Now, how can you enter the giveaway? You can enter the giveaway by subscribing here on YouTube, make a comment below on this video, and you're entered. Okay? That's all you got to do. Also, if you'd like a second vote in that pool, go to the Twitter account, and there will be a tweet specifically for this. Look for the giveaway tweet on the MOLLYMAUK. You want to retweet that and like it, and now you have essentially two votes in the pool. We're going to take all those folks, we're going to take all the YouTube accounts, going to put them together. Bear's going to do the magic, press the Button of Fate, and a winner is going to be selected. So that winner may come from the Twitter pool, it may come from the YouTube pool, but regardless, if you do both, you got double the chance of winning, okay? So that's how we're going to do the giveaway. Again, it starts right now, and it's going to run all the way until August the 3rd. At some point during that day, I will press the button. I usually wait until later in the day. Well, I won't. I mean, Bear will physically press the button, as we all know. So I will not be pressing the button. Okay, with the giveaway out of the way, we are now going to select which one will be mine and which one will be the lucky winners. One thing that I will say is I have not opened either one of these. So they both are a fresh copy, taped up, not opened. I will select one for me, one will be the winners, and that is the way it is. I could have opened them both, looked them both over, decided which one I liked best, and kept it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it absolutely fair. One is mine, and one is a team member's. The question is, which one? Now, if we look at the boxes, they're both identical in quality. Okay, they are both perfectly, no problems. You know what? I did not see that. Okay, hang on. So, we're good. I actually did not see this. Okay, this is all good. This box has the slightest dent right here. So you know what? It has a slightest dent right here, and it also has a dent right here. You know what? I'm going to take this one. This one's for the winners, for the team member. Bear, if you would hold that, please. Put it right down. Thank you. Okay. This is the one I'm going to keep. I feel like that's the right thing to do. And I actually saw that here on camera. That was not... I thought both boxes were absolutely perfect. But this one does seem to have somewhat of a little bit of damage. A couple slices. I don't think the box is probably damaged at all, but... You know what? I don't want to give anything to anybody that isn't absolutely perfect. Thank you for the cleave, Bear. We are now going to open this package. Okay? Once we get it open, we'll speed things up a little bit. We'll bring out the miniature cam. I know this is an overkill, but this is what we're going to do. We'll bring out the miniature cam to... man, that is some serious tape. We'll bring out the miniature cam to be able to get up really close on this. And we're going to get into all the nooks and crannies. And we're going to make sure that this is we're getting the quality here. Now, I believe we will, okay? Now, I've stayed away from the interwebs in looking at images of this because I wanted to be totally on camera. This is real, okay? What you're going to get, what I'm going to see here. And I'm not going light, okay? I'm going to be honest, right? Why does someone keep coming to my front door? I'm going to be honest on what I see here. Because I have high expectations. This was an $80 figure. Now, it is a 12-inch figure, but it was an $80 figure. So, I do have high expectations here. All right. So, right off the bat, we got it open. And there is a piece of cardboard packaging on the top. Okay, that looks good. You know what? I'm gonna sheath the sleeve because I think that that's the right thing to do. I'm going to put that over there. There's then a little piece of paper here that is on top. Okay, the box looks really good. The box looks really good. Ooh, I might have got a little crunchage on that side. That's why I took this one, guys. I might have got a little crunchage on this side, but that's why I took this one. I don't want anybody to get something that isn't as good as it can be. Okay? It is now out, and there's a little piece of, another one of those little pieces of thin paper there on that side. Okay, the box, it's out. All right, let's look at it. Okay, everything does look good. There is a little bit of a crease here, but I think that's actually part of the box. It doesn't look bent. That's just the way the box is like either made or designed. I don't know. I could be wrong, but there is a little bit of this like weird crease going all the way down this side of the box. So I'm looking the box over. We're going to look at that. This side is perfectly flush and flat, so I don't know if that's meant to be there or not. Maybe it is. When we get it open, we can see. The first thing I'm going to focus on here, 14 plus, not a toy. Obviously, this is not a toy. This is an adult collectible, okay? All right? It's not a doll. It's a doll. All right, it's an adult collectible. Right here, we've got the actual number, I think, for this one. It's printed right, kind of stamped. It's not really printed. It's like stamped into the cardboard right here. Very cool. And then you've got all your information. Critical Role, McFarlane Toys. Look at the back of that, how cool it looks. All that kind of symbolism there you've got from MOLLYMAUK. You've got the big peacock there on the side. The box is very well done. This is nice. And it's got, you can see sort of the metal fleck that's there on the box that you get. Look at the cards on the front. That's all very cool. Like, I'm very excited so far, right? You got the moon phases here on the bottom. Look at that. And then here on the top, you got the eye with some script. Or no, it says, "Long may he reign." I thought it was script. So, "Long may he reign," there with the script on the top. So far, excellent job on the box. I'm really excited about that. All right, here we go. We're getting it open. You know what? We don't need that distracting us. And we'll leave the sleeve. Okay, so it's not magnetic. It is the Velcro. So it's the Velcro piece, and it has a good Velcro. It's good. Like, and you want that because sometimes folks will take this out and they will literally display it just like that, and that's how it will be displayed. You don't want that lid flying open. Some people don't like that. Okay? Some people are going to leave it in the box and display it with the lid open, and that's why we're going to take a really critical look. Critical. God, I'm good. We're going to take a really critical look at the window box packaging of this because there's a lot of people that will not take this out of the box. I am. Obviously, we're going to take it out of the box, okay, for the review. And I want it that way. I will display the box behind it. You probably want me to open the box. I get it. All right, so we open the box. Ooh, okay. I don't want to lose it just yet because I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. Okay, so here it is. Open the box. Now, you're going to get a really rich purple once you open the box. It's a much richer purple inside, which was a good choice because it really emphasizes and brings it open when you open that cover. So that contrast between that light purple on the outside and that flecking and that dark contrast of that purple on the inside, that was a really nice design. Okay, now we've got some verbiage here. Different things it's saying. We'll go ahead and zoom in on that. And the miniature cam is going to get all this here in time as well as the pictures. You can see that there's some stuff that we've got, written on this here. So you can pause that if you want to go through all of that. Okay, that's done well. And then, you know, I'm thinking that the reason why there was this crease right here is because of how this door might be designed. I can't figure that out because there should not be a crease that's running down the side of this box. And there's nothing that has happened to this box that would cause that. So I'm just going to move past that. I'm not sure why that's there. Now we're going to look at what we've got here in the window packaging. I really like how they did the MOLLYMAUK. You have the critical role symbol right below it. That looks really nice. Okay, let me not block Bear. He hates it when I do that. So you can see that MOLLYMAUK, the critical role symbol. And then this looks really good. So this is actually a thicker plastic. Sometimes they do this too thin. This is pretty well done. I think it's thick enough that it looks beefy, but it's not too thick where it's hurting the clarity of being able to see the figure if you want to keep it in its window box. Another thing that I want to look at here, I'm going to turn it away for a second because I really want to look. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this because you want to have a good design window package that shows the items as well as the figure, and the figure in sort of its full glory, right? Not like all in pieces to be put together. That's not really great to see in a window box like that. And I think they did a pretty good choice with the ties. That's another thing. You don't want to use those big, ugly, gray ties. You know, them big, just giant, twisty things. You want to use like the transparent ties. The rubber band type stuff is the best. Usually if it can hold the model and the plastic you can be able to design to hold the model, which they've utilized here. But I don't love it. I'll tell you that. I don't love it. I don't like how they just did one giant tie at the bottom. They should have done a single one for each leg, all the way tucked down to those ankles. I don't like where this one is positioned. I think they should have positioned it lower, and they should have actually put it into his, because you can see his clothes are kind of rubber and sort of move a little bit. They should have positioned it in there around his belt, and it would have completely hidden that tie. The one that's up here on his hand I don't really have a problem with. It would have been better if it was more around his wrist versus just kind of coming up against around the palm of his hand. It's little stuff, but, you know, for the price of the model, and for some people not taking it out of the box, the more you can optimize that window box view, the better. So, it's just, you know, something to think about. Okay, we're now going to get it out of the box. So, I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and we're just going to get it out of the box. And then we're going to look at the model, and we're going to start hitting it with the miniature cam and getting up close. Cleve, we got to do some surgery. Okay, we'll go ahead and bring it back up as of right here, because I've got something important here to show. Be careful opening this top. The tabs are in there really tight. If you grab it and you just try to pull it up real hard, you may rip the box. I did not, because I'm skilled. You want to make sure that you don't rip the box trying to do that, and these tabs were pretty tight, which is actually a good thing, don't get me wrong. Now, this plastic piece will come out of the insert. One thing that is kind of cool, I need to go back in the box this way. I just don't know how much damage I'm going to have to do to it trying to get that base out of there. There is a backdrop that was in the box, which you really couldn't see from the window side. So there's some graphics in there and a full kind of backdrop, which is pretty cool, that you could set, you know, behind the figure when it was set up. I don't think I'll do that. I'll put this back in the box. However, the way that they've packaged the base is it's literally glued and attached to that backing. It wasn't just a separate piece that was loose, but you know, sometimes you'll see those bases will be just like strapped up under the model in another little piece of plastic. I don't know why they did this, because I'm going to have to rip this box to get this piece off. So I'm not too happy with that packaging choice. Hopefully it's a really light I might have to use this. Hopefully it's a really light glue that I can actually get up under. Oh my god, I'm going to ruin it. Let's see if I... Alright, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this, I'm going to slice this, okay? I'm going to slice that, and I'm going to slice this, okay? Now we can drop this down, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in from the side, I know it might feel like, really, man, but this stuff matters, right? I mean, this is this is a collectible. You know, this is an $80 figure, and the box matters. Collectors will buy these things, and you know, I'm never going to get rid of my personal, you know, copy, but you know, people will buy these things, and 5-10 years down the road, they might be worth a lot of money, and they might get into some hard times and decide to sell some of their collectibles. And this stuff matters when you want to package it back up and be able to resell it as a, not as brand new, but as a display, right? And still have all the original. And you can see there was no other way to do that. I had to rip the backing in the package to be able to get that out. I'm not happy with that. That's no good. Okay, nothing to the sculpt or anything. I think that is phenomenal from what I'm seeing so far. And you can push it back, okay? It's not bad once it's back into the window box. You can push it back. I did a pretty good job taking it off, where I didn't get that ripping. So, you know, I can put that back. I could even put a little glue spot on that if I want, probably get it back almost looking perfect. Right? But, you know, it's something I got to do. Okay, cool. Now, let's look at the base. Okay? My blood pressure has now lowered. So let's look at the base. We've got a really cool base. I love the kind of the wood grain paint that they've put on here and the critical role symbol and how they've done it. It's kind of faded, kind of washed out a little bit. And you got a solid peg here to hold the model. Now, it does not have two, which is interesting because the bottom of his feet have two pegs. But I'm sure that'd be fine support-wise. I am a little curious about that because it's a 12-inch model and it's got some weight to it, that one peg is going to be enough. But it seems like it's going to, and what that also offers for you to do is more posability, because once you peg that foot in, you know, you can push them forward, you can pull them back. So I understand the design there, and that is a pretty thick peg, and he's got a pretty good sized foot that's going to be laying on this piece here. So I don't think there's going to be any issues, but we'll take a look at that. Very cool bottom, and it's sizable too. You can see how big it is. I want to say it's about 7 inches across. So I could be wrong, but that's about what it looks like. Okay, so now what we'll do here is we'll take this tape back and let's get out our swords. So swords came out nice and straight. Looking good. Yep, nice and straight. Good quality. They've got some scripting in the metal. The metal is actually designed in a way that it's got sort of some swirly type aspect to it, so it doesn't just look like straight steel. That's really cool. I love all the detail work and the edging and the sculpting. You're seeing this stuff on the miniature cam right now. We've got some nice work and sculpting here in the handle. And I really like how they did here. There's actually what looks like little stitching almost in the leather grip. So very, very nice done. Very nice work on the swords here. These are well done. This one, same way, nice and straight. And looks the same other than the... no, the bottoms are the same. I thought they were different. No, the bottoms... So these swords are literally identical. They are both identical. One is not shorter than the other one. I thought one was shorter than the other one because of how it was packaged here. But they are both exactly the same, which is cool. Okay, we're now going to get the actual MOLLYMAUK figure out, which does seem to be in one solid piece. So I'm going to flip it over here. Okay, so that's come out. Good Lord. And you want to be careful with that. You're going to scratch your model. Okay. Again, I mean, you know, you got to take your time here because you get all spastic and rip this out of the packaging, and you can actually damage your sculpt. Like, again, this is not a $20 sculpt. This is an $80 figure. So you need to show some care and be really careful. We are going to, let's see, I don't know if I can get that one technically out. So we're gonna pull on it a little bit. So I'm gonna take this one, we're gonna pull that out, set it to the side, we're gonna pull this out very slowly. Okay, and I'm not even gonna take it out anymore because there's a lot of paint on the inside of this coat. It looks absolutely Oh, it looks so awesome. Okay, that came out no problem. No scratches. Okay. That's interesting. Take a look at that here in a second. This one down here, I'm going to try to pop out of the plastic, and we're going to give ourselves a little pull on it, and I don't think I'm going to do any further. All right, now we're going to pull. Let's start with this because I don't know exactly. Okay, this is interesting. All right, we're going to pause for a second. You are going to have to be extremely careful in getting this figure out with this right here, because it is all one piece, okay? These cards are not pegged into his hand, which I'm glad that they did it this way. It really looks like they're actually floating and levitating off of his hand, and it is sculpted as one piece into the hand. However, if you grab this and just pull it out, you could possibly rip this and have some bending. So I'm going to have to work on this for a minute, and then we're going to come back. Oh my God. Okay. I'm sweating. I set this out to the side. Okay. MOLLYMAUK is out. Okay. We're going to go ahead and set it up without the stand. I think that's one of the tests. Now, this is not a movable sculpt at all, okay? We got no movement in any of the ankles and the feet. There's a little jiggle there just because I think that piece snaps up into that. Oh, we do have a little tape here. Let me get that off ever so carefully. Put that down to the side. Okay, we do have some movement here in this arm. So this arm definitely has movement and posability. The legs are not going anywhere. Do we have a waist joint? There is a waist joint. There's a minor amount of movement there for the waist joint. So I think I'm probably going to do something like that. And you do have movement here with this as well. So you can kind of have him almost... So you can kind of have MOLLYMAUK almost throwing the cards at you, which is, I don't know, that's kind of cool, right? Like almost throwing the cards at you. So you can have some different sculpting positions here. Or more of the up in the air, which I think I actually like, sort of not totally up in the air, but just sort of like right like that. I'm kind of a fan of it being right there. Okay, we do have head movement as well. You'll see the joint there on the head. We've got head movement, and this sculpt will stand up by itself without the stand here, which is good because that basically tells us that it is balanced and it will stand, which now makes me feel really good about this single peg and how that's going to hold it. So now let's go into the clothing. It's all attached. It's not removable. However, it is made of that pliable rubber. You can see there, you got some room. And then we have the sheaths there for the swords. So let's see how this is going to work. How does this work? Okay, it looks like they actually... Yeah, so they hook in. So they're kind of like little hooks almost. It doesn't slide in. I guess you could do that, but you can hook it right in where it needs to go in. Okay, hook that in there, and more than likely you're going to need it. Just be careful you don't scratch the paint. You're going to need it out like this. Okay, and you're going to get a little bit of play on how much that sword can stick out versus down. I do kind of like it jolting out like that. I don't know, but definitely can change it. I don't know. Let me see. Now that might actually look a little better like that. So you definitely got some play there, and most of that area is then hidden by the coat hanging down. So let's get the swords on, and then we're going to go through my thoughts on the paint job and how good the sculpt actually looks. Okay, and we're back. The swords are in. I will have to say I had quite a bit of trouble getting this sword in because you want to be careful. You don't just want to shove it in there and muscle it through. You're going to end up scraping your paint, and you're going to have little black scuffs all over this nice, silver finish. And you don't want to do that. So you're going to have to take your time, make sure you get the sword in there. It is a very tight fit, and I've kind of chose to go with one that's sort of stuck more you know, almost horizontal, and then one that has a little bit more of a vertical, you know, feel to it. That's the route I'm going to go with mine. I just think it adds more dynamic feel to it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say, do I want to turn the waist? I want to turn this way, and then I think I'm going to put, I'm not sure if I want to put my hand sort of as I'm going, sort of like resting it on the sword, or if I want to like extend the hand out, because the extending the hand out does, I don't know, it looks cool either way. I think I'm going to go with resting it, kind of resting it on the sword. And I can even move that around a little bit to make it look like his hand is more, you know, is more on the sword. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm actually going to tilt the head. I'm not going to tilt the head that way. I'm going to tilt the head sort of towards the cards. All right, so that's the pose that I'm going to go with for my MOLLYMAUK. I think that looks pretty sweet. Okay, the actual detail quality of the model is done really well. There is a ton of little, very detailed, almost like if we took a fine little paintbrush and hand painted on all these different little symbols, the moon, the sun, the spider there, all these tiny, tiny little symbols and lines here. Everything is done very neat and very nice. I don't see anything on this model where it's like, oh, the printer skipped or it didn't work out well. Everything looks really good. The tail is a kind of a rubber, pliable tail. It doesn't move. You can't twist it or do anything else with it. That's just kind of where it's at. It's supposed to kind of rest there on the ground. If you want to do something else with this tail, you can obviously go custom on it, heat it up, and mold it into a different way. I don't know if I'd go that far. I think it looks cool the way it's done. The hair looks really good. I'm actually really impressed with the hair sculpt here on the MOLLYMAUK. It has an amazing amount of hair sculpting detail here on the back. It's done with a black undertone. Then it's like dry brush. Well, it's done with a black. It's then washed probably with a gray, and then it's done with a dry brush of like a purplish blue. So it really brings out all the details and the quality in that head sculpt. The actual paint job on the sculpt looks great. There is some like almost it's not glittery, but it's definitely a metallic fleck, purple like eyeshadow that's over the top of the eyelid, and then the eyes are a very shiny and metallic fleck red, and I think they nailed it with that. It looks so good when it hits the light. There's like a little bit of sparkle. I hope it shows up on camera on the miniature cam as well. Like when those eyes kind of hit the light a certain way, they almost light up and sparkle. It's just really, really cool. Really, really nailed the eye paint on this model. I like the tattoo that's going up the side there, which is done in a very dark green and black, which looks great against this purple tone. We've already talked about the cards and how they molded that. You can see that they are sculpted and molded into his fingers there, and it does give this feel of a little bit more of levitation of those cards, the way that they've actually done it, which is pretty nice. As well as some of his snake tattooing that's on his skin. It's all painted on there on his hand, and it does go down into the arm that you can see, which is pretty cool. This doesn't move. It is a softer rubber, but you can see that it goes down into the arms. That's really well done. The way that they did the actual washing on the model looks really good on the hands. I always take a look at the hands of these sculpts, and they did a really good job on the hands. The fingernails are all sculpted. The fingernails are not individually painted by any means. They just have the same paint as the base skin. I'm not sure if that's canon or not. I guess that's correct. But those are not painted any different color. They just kind of blend right in. But you can see all the little bones and the veins and the knuckles and the actual fingernails sculpted all the way down to the actual nail that's going back past the cuticle as well. So it looks really good. It's really high detailed. I'm really impressed with that. And the sculpt has a pretty good weight to it as well. I mean, it is a bigger model, but it does have some good weight. I don't know exactly how much it weighs, but it does have some good weight to it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get it on the platform here because they're shutting the lights off on me. So we're going to get it on the platform, and this is the thing. You can do it different ways. So you can decide where you want to put it. You can put MOLLYMAUK up on the front like this and have a big kind of back side, or like the side area there. Well, not a big back side. And then you can put it here. Okay, so we're going to try that. We're going to put it there. Okay, and you want to snap it down good. Okay, it's not gonna hurt nothing. Snap it down good so it's got a good base. Okay, and that looks good. And that's on there tight. I mean, that's not coming off. Okay, and that's something you want to test with these, is that if you can shake that base off there, it's no good. This is on tight. You can see, boom, it ain't going nowhere. This is well made. The base is very well made, and I like that pose right there versus to the side. I think to the side it looks a little funny. I've seen some pictures. I saw a picture, and I don't know where I saw it, but I saw a picture somewhere of just right when it was released, and it looked like they had it on the side here, and then there was like this giant piece that was all, it just didn't look right. So for me, that looks like the best way to have it. It's centered up, almost a little off center. It shows the nice wood grain. The foot's over the wood grain, which looks nice how it kind of blends in, and then you get your nice Critical Role symbol there. Okay, you know what? Final verdict. I think they nailed it, McFarlane. McFarlane and Critical Role, they obviously worked on this as a partnership. So let's get the tail up there. There we go. And you'll rest that tail right there. Perfect. Okay, I think they nailed it. It looks awesome. It is definitely worth the $80, okay? And that's what this really all comes down to, is the sculpt worth the $80? And I think the answer to that is yes, it is. This MOLLYMAUK sculpt is absolutely worth $80. I really hope they do more of these. Could you imagine getting a jester? Like, how cool that would be? I don't know. I'd like to see a jester. That's just my personal opinion. I think would be amazing. A jester's mom would be cool, right? I think there's a number of characters that would be awesome to have the 12-inch sculpt in, right? And I would stick to this. I would stick to this version, this model size. I wouldn't start doing the 7 inches or it needs to be a 12-inch sculpt to really look like an actual model or a sculpture that you would have versus just an action figure. Again, there's a little movement here, so you can still kind of, term this as an action figure because there is movement, but it is essentially a 12-inch sculpt, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. The paint job, they nailed it. The posing, they nailed it. All the detail that you've got on the model, they nailed it. Really, really well done. Critical Role and McFarlane Toys. Okay, don't forget about the giveaway. It's going to be running over next week after this comes out. Subscribe, comment below. Don't forget about Twitter. Get that double vote for yourself. Okay? That has been the MOLLYMAUK limited run McFarlane Toys Critical Role. Hit that like, hit the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time, Bear. Let's roll!